One of the most underestimated things inside Squad Busters, I believe, is splash damage. And think of splash damage as something that you're not really targeting a single enemy. You toss out a water balloon and whoever gets wet is hit by that splash damage. And this is something that can fool people. What appears to be a weaker army can quickly melt their troops and crush them in no time. So today we're going to go over the heroes that have them so you can hopefully melt your enemies and know when to avoid them. So Colt is going to be the first one we're going to talk about, and not his regular attack, that's not splash damage, but when you go and kill 4 enemies and fill up your meter around them, this is when you're going to activate Bulletstorm. And the bullets coming out of Bulletstorm do not stop at the first enemy they hit, they will pass all the way through. A little bit different of a splash damage, it's more of a straight line, but still, in my eyes, I consider it splash damage. And this could be said with El Primo also. Basic attacks, just normal single targets. When you get enough for your flying elbow, that will go and do splash damage to any enemies that are around. Not to mention the stun you get out of it. It doesn't really hit that hard, but still splash damage is splash damage. And with the way this video is going, I might be saying splash damage a lot, so feel free to count it out, see how many times I say it. The next one is going to be one that's underestimated a lot, and that is bow. See, a lot of people hate on bow here, and once again, normal attacks aren't actually splash, but the mines that it drops. These things can actually do a lot of damage, put a little bit of a stun on you, and really mess some people up. Now these next ones are pretty much the definition of splash damage. First one being Wizard there, we all know, we've seen it before, hitting multiple enemies at once, and it has a nice grouping on it. And then, of course, we also have the Ice Wizard, which I think I actually like a little bit better, the fact we're going to get that super freeze, but not to mention the 6 spikes that are going to shoot out afterwards that'll go and penetrate through too. Now, Dynamite is one that could be a little bit glitchy. This is definitely good splash damage to have. However, though, there has been some issues when heroes start moving around. When he's firing those dynamite sticks, they tend to not hit and don't do any damage at all. Now, some might say that Jesse is splash damage. I really don't think so. I more call that a ricochet. And even Shelly itself is just going to be a spread, but it's going to stop right at that first enemy. However, Bee is another good one. Not Bee's attacks herself, but Bees are a great way to get some splash damage out there. The fact that they're just going to be melting through anything that they touch is a great way to kind of just get rid of some heroes quickly. Now, not really a huge one here, but the Royal Knight doesn't do splash damage himself, but if you do toss the spell into groups of people or into the skeletons, you can see there is at least a little bit of a splash from tossing that spell. Mortis, on the other hand, will not do splash damage, but depending on what type of enemies you kill, for example, the bull right here, if you go and revive one of those, that actual monster will go and do splash damage for you. But probably my favorite one out of them all is going to be the Barbarian King. Once again, normal attacks don't do it, but when you fill up the meter and you get that Iron Fist, that is going to be splash damage with a stun on top of it, and it does a pretty nice hit too. So that's about all that I'm seeing for actual heroes inside the game that have splash damage to them. Yes, there is spells, the bomb, the lightning, the shrink, all those things and more are going to be doing it, but we're just focusing on the heroes right now. If you find yourself struggling with your tank and it just doesn't seem like it's killing anybody, it's probably because you're not building any splash damage and it's just focusing on the skeletons that witch is tossing out. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you want to know how I completed the Pinata event in 60 minutes inside the game, take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.